Hi, I'm Dan and welcome to the Airbrush Garage. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to do a fold on a flag, but we're going to be zooming in just on a very little tiny section of the flag right there. So if you can see, it's just going to be the stars with the blue background, but I'm going to show you how to create the fold and give it depth. So with that, I hope you like this video. If you do, please consider subscribing, hit that bell so you get future notifications. Make sure you check out all my Amazon affiliate links down below. Hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up will be nice. Some comments, good or bad, really helps the YouTube algorithm and move this channel forward. And I will say that this is my first video after you guys helped me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. And now we're looking for 2. So with that, let's get started. All right, so I pre-prepped these a little bit already, but so what I did was I cut out the stars, and as you can see, they're not perfect. This is my negative mask where I want the stars, and they don't need to be perfect. They need to be distorted because it's gonna have a roll to it. The flag's gonna have a roll to it, so it's gonna wanna look distorted. So don't get too carried, hung up on how perfect these look right now. So what I did was, with the positive piece that I cut out, I put a piece of tape over a little cutout I made with my X-Acto blade, so I can take now my positive mask, fit it into my negative mask, approximately where I want it, rub that down, and that's going to hold my positive mask where I want it. I'll do the same with this star. Just get it approximately in there. Again, you don't have to be perfect at this step. I take off my negative mask and my 2 positive stars are on there. So now I'm going to take my deep blue, I'm going to spray my whole background, and being as careful as I can to spray to 90 degree to these paper masks so I don't get a lot of overspray underneath them. Okay, and if we do, we can always come back up and touch it up with the white. It's not a problem, but you want to spray at a 90 as much as possible. Right, so the first thing I did, I mixed up my blue in my Iwata Eclipse, my newly rebuilt Iwata Eclipse. By the way, I have a video on rebuilding this thing. 20-year-old airbrush, love it, it's my favorite. But one of my newest favorite airbrushes that I'm going to be having the white in is the Iwata HPC Plus. So the Eclipse has a 3.5 needle and the Plus has a 0.3 needle nozzle combination. So, all right, let's get the background sprayed in here. So you want to work in light layers. This takes a few minutes because you don't want to saturate it. It's a piece of paper that I'm working on right now. So it's not like, it's got a shiny, resilient surface. So you don't want to saturate this too much at one time because you want to try to keep it laying flat. But for right now, I think that we're pretty good. I might want to hit a little bit more dark in here. So whenever you're painting something, you always want to have your reference photo close by. And I like to hang it someplace where I don't have to keep looking side to side. If I could hang it out just to the left or right of me so I can, have a good focus on it, so I could just move my eyes back and forth and not my head, that's where I like to have it. So I did just pin down the corners ever so slightly, just because I don't want to put too much tape coming in here, because when I start shooting the black in and the white and stuff, I don't want the overspray giving me a tape line. So I just nipped the corners on that. So again, you can see some overspray in here. So we can come back in later with our negative mask and just lay that back on there and touch up the white. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to make this thing look like it's rolling. So we're going to be hitting it with some black where we want the deepest shadows or the parts that are furthest away, and then hitting with some white where the light is reflecting off of the high point. Okay, so that's basically all it is black is going to push back, white is going to bring forward. All right, so I have a highlight going here and a highlight here. So as you can see, this is gonna all start folding in and around and down. So here's where are gonna be my darks, okay? And again, you're not covering up all of that blue or anything like that. You want that blue to shine through. And again, I try to do this in one step, but you could always come back in, hit a little bit more blue, hit back over your white if you went a little too far. You know, one thing about airbrushing I always say is, a good artist, honestly, knows how to fix their mistakes. All right, so now I'm gonna put some Wicked Detail Black in. One other little tip that I'd like to share with you is, so I had the blue in this cup. So it's a lot easier to rinse out the blue and add your black to a color like that, where it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get that white cup cleaned out and add a dark color like this. So I like to use multiple airbrushes, but I will clean out and put a color in, you know, keep one airbrush with my dark colors, one airbrush with my light colors. That's just something I like to do. All right, so now I'm gonna come in with the black. So if you got your white highlight here and you want this to roll down, your black's gonna have to be right here in the seam of this. Same thing here. So we're gonna have a couple rolls here. We're gonna have one fold come back up and another fold roll down and back up here. Now another little trick to get a nice deep crease or fold, you take yourself a nice little piece of paper or straight edge, and again, hold it up off there. You want a soft edge. You don't want a really hard edge. So you want to hold it up maybe about a ½ inch off your surface. Spray right in along that. It's going to give you a nice soft but a little bit harder of an edge. Again, so you want to be spraying mainly on that card, about maybe halfway. Back over, soften it up. That little card trick, do the same thing here. I'm gonna flip this around and use my black. So I was spraying on the other side and I really couldn't see where I was spraying because I was putting white on white. So it is gonna be a little easier to watch this. You put the white over the black, you're gonna be able to see where you're at on the card. So up until now, I've been spraying with the illustration white, which is a very transparent white, but now I'm going to use a little bit of opaque white. Again, I'm not really used to spraying on something like this, you know, almost like a piece of construction paper. So it's very absorbent, very porous. It's, you know, really sucking in the paint. So I'm going to go with a little bit of opaque white. Again, using my 4011, just about 10%. I'm not going to really water it down, or I'm not really going to reduce it down that much. All right, so what I got mixed up here is I got my UVLS clear gloss with just a dash, just, you know, 10% of the 4011. Don't want to really reduce that down all that much. Got it here in my airbrush. Just to protect us a little bit, I'm going to put a nice medium coat of this clear on. Well, there you have it. Tried to keep it simple. Once I got that blue background on, really all you needed was some black and some white. Again, just remember where your light source is coming from. Just remember the highlights or your whites are always at the top, and your darkest deep, or in this case black, are in your valleys. Okay, so you're just making a rolling hill. Just think of it that way. Keep it simple, keep it fun. I hope you liked this video. Hope you got something from it. If you did, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, a couple comments, good or bad. Become a subscriber. I really appreciate it. Check out all my Amazon affiliate links down below. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.